I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving and ate too much and have recovered from that and are ready to be awake. I am going to share with you a reading from Whispers from Eternity, Paramhansa Yogananda's book of poems. And
I'm going to fix your robe, which is...
Oh, thank you. His microphone cords. And this one's titled, Keep the Needle of My Attention Ever Pointing Toward Thee. Whether soaring through the sky encased in a steel air cage, or drawn o'er the land by snorting iron steeds, or moving easily over smooth highways on rubber wheels, or having my very thoughts paralyzed by the pounding din of assembly lines, the compass needle of my attention will ever keep turning toward thy magnetic North Pole of divine love. Beaten by winds of happenstance, drenched by cloudbursts of misery, sucked down in the mud of soul-enmeshing, ego-whipped activity, or wandering lost in jungles of confusion, my mind will yet ever reach out for thy guiding touch. The raft of my life, tossed about helplessly by the driving storms of need, was drifting toward rocks of insatiable desire. O pole star in our wisdom skies, thy twinkling light beckoned and directed me toward thy shores of eternal contentment. Though countless mechanisms pound, twist, or stretch my anguished nerves, yet will the homing pigeon of my love wing its way peacefully toward its true home in thee. There's some rough stuff in that whisper, that drenched by cloudbursts of misery, beaten by winds of happenstance, sucked down in the mud of soul-enmeshing, ego-whipped activity. So our topic is karma. And I remember many years ago, Swami Kriyananda starting a class on karma by saying the following. Great masters have said that everything is determined by karma. And then he paused for a bit of dramatic pause. He said, everything. And it goes down to very, very minute levels of life. Like, what were you deciding? Who decided what you were going to wear today? You know, you thought you were deciding what to wear today, but your karma was deciding what to wear today. Certainly my karma decided what I would wear today. You know, where you would sit when you came here. We would say that it's all determined by karma. And you think about that for a while, and it starts to feel a little tight. It's like, don't I have any free will? Can't I make the tiniest little decisions of what to eat or what to wear or where to sit or where to go? Well, you can try. But your own karma is just going to come through and take you where it will. Ananda Village said, yes, we do have free will. We have the free will to think of God or not think of God. That's it. Swami Kriyananda sometimes used the image, it's like we're on a train. And we have freedom. We have freedom to go to the back of the train or the front of the train, but we're on the train. And where's the train going? The train's going to the station. It's going to Union Station, okay? Union with God. But it's a very, very, very long train, and you don't want to be in the caboose. But it's interesting that many people tend to gravitate toward the end of the train. They don't like the idea of being on these boring tracks, heading to a destination that somebody else chose. Yeah. They don't want Union Station. They want the amusement park. And sometimes we get drawn into things that aren't exactly the amusement park when we go in that direction. They're more like that, some of those images from the Whisper that I read. It can be challenging. And I know over the years I've known many people who want to gravitate toward the end of the train, the back of the train. I remember years ago there was a woman who was very, very excited about the spiritual path. She sort of found what she was looking for. And she plunged into meditation and chanting and all the practices and loved being around other people who were on the spiritual path. And as she was staying at the Expanding Light retreat, and as she was close to leaving, she said to me, "I love this. I'm really going to take it up when I get old." I hope she's gotten old and not had an interruption on the way to getting old. And there was another person. She was in her probably late 20s, around 30 maybe, and she started coming, and she was really hungry. She said, "I'm hungry like a tiger," for all this. And she plunged in. She was a tiger. She had tremendous energy and just a huge ability to pour herself completely into whatever she was doing. And she did pour herself completely. She began to have meditation experiences that I am sure many people watching this right now would consider trading a limb to have. And then she was gone. Never saw her again. But we did see sometime later a friend of hers who explained, yeah, she missed the party life. She went back to the party life. I was like, really? Yeah, really. You may remember in Autobiography of a Yogi where Lahiri Mahashaya first meets his guru, Babaji, and what does Babaji say to him at one point? The magic wand of your karma touched you, and you were gone. Now, I don't think Lahiri Mahashaya had karma. He was an avatar, but nevertheless, this is what happens. The magic wand of our karma touches us. And sometimes we're gone, and sometimes we're in much better shape than that. But the karma is there. There's an interesting little piece I wanted to read you that of Paramhansa Yogananda, talking just a little bit about karma. We can go overboard into karma. He said, every action produces a karmic reaction, manifesting sooner or later for good or ill. Okay, we're on board with that. I think everybody knows that. But every action also leaves a trace in the subconscious mind and tends to repeat itself until it becomes a formidable, automatically performing habit. So your actions are karma, the traces in your subconscious mind are karma, the formidable, automatically performing habits are karma. We're swimming in it. And that can be a little discouraging if we think about it too much. But the question comes, what can we do about this? And where karma starts to feel like an evil thing, the law behind it, Swami Kriyananda characterized it as an expression of divine love. Now, when things are not going well, doesn't feel like an expression of divine love. But the whole point is the law of karma is there to teach us. This is going to take you toward happiness or away from happiness. And this is the point of the whole point of the law of karma. You know, I like to visualize it sometimes. We're a pendulum, just hanging still, right in our center. When we're in that place, we're in the place of soul consciousness. But when we start to behave according to the thought that I'm the body, I'm the personality, this is who I am, every action starts to push that pendulum out of center. And the law of karma is simply the reality that guarantees there's going to be an equal and opposite force pushing that back, pushing us back to center. It's helping us. Of course, one of the difficulties is that during the time it's getting pushed out, we're making other decisions that push that pendulum in other directions as well, constantly, before the law of karma can bring us back peacefully to our center. And we can get to the place where there are so many karmic things in motion that we don't know where we are. We don't know how to get back to that center. We don't even know what direction the center lies in anymore. And people go through this for lifetimes and lifetimes. As I say, it's a long, long train. And then they finally say, wait a minute, this hurts too much. The way Yogananda put it, he put it more gently, the anguishing monotony of being lost, of not knowing where we want to go. The spiritual path comes along. That monotony drives us to seek answers, and we start to get some answers of what we can do. We start to acquire some tools for how we can break out of the mesh of karma, because we're never going to understand it on its level. As Yogananda said, it takes a master to understand karma. Can't do it, don't try. I mean, it's good to try when something happens, to try to understand what brought it about, but we're never going to understand with the mind our little karmas. But what we can do, and what the masters bring, is tools to break out of that web. There's the tool of willpower, which Yogananda said was the most important human faculty. There's the tool of discrimination, where we can start to understand, is this going to lead me to happiness or not? There's the tool of devotion, where we just offer our little ordinary selves into the extraordinary self that can help to lift us out of the karma that operates on the level of this outer world. And then, of course, there's God's grace, which any of these will help us to tune into and hitch a ride to the front of the train. But there's another tool that is very ordinary, doesn't always get much credit, and yet is extremely important. And I wanted to tell you a story about it, because it's a story from my book, The Hidden Story of the Mahabharata. And it's not right in the central flow of the Mahabharata story. It's one of the many, many, many digressions of the Mahabharata, which I did not leave in my book for the most part, but I did leave this one in the book because it's just too good. So, Yudhishthira, the eldest of the five Pandava brothers, the good guys, had just become emperor of the entire world. And he had received much wealth, and he had much importance and much power. And that made the eldest Kaurava brother, Duryodhana, extremely angry, extremely jealous. And he asked his father, King Dhritarashtra, what can I do to obtain such prosperity as Yudhisthira has? And his father said, that can be done by virtuous behavior. He said, through virtuous behavior, you can conquer the three worlds. Nothing is impossible for those of virtuous behavior. And Duryodhana asked, well, how can I acquire virtuous behavior? And Dhritarashtra said, I will tell you a story. An ancient story of the Lord Indra and Prahlad. Now, Lord Indra was the chief of the Devas, the demigods, and he was in charge of ruling the three worlds, okay, the physical, astral, and causal universes. Prahlad was an Ashura, a demon, but he didn't behave like a demon. He was a paragon of right behavior. And through that, he acquired such merit that he was able to snatch from Lord Indra the rulership of the three worlds. Well, this was very, very disconcerting for Indra. He was very, very depressed. So he went to Vrihaspathi, the guru of the gods, and asked him, what's the source of happiness? And Vrihaspathi said, knowledge of the route to liberation is the source of happiness. And Indra said, is there nothing higher than that? And Vrihaspathi said, well, yes, there is. You should go to the Bhrigu, the sage Bhrigu, and ask him to tell you about it. So Indra went to Bhrigu and said, is there something higher than the knowledge that leads to liberation? And Bhrigu said, yes, there is, but you should ask Prahlad about it. He has better knowledge of it. Well, Indra was delighted. He smiled, a big smile, and transformed himself into a Brahmin. And he went to Prahlad. And he said, oh, king, please tell me, what is the source of happiness? And Prahlad said, I have no time to talk with you. I am busy ruling the three worlds. And the Brahmin said, I understand, O king, but if sometime you feel that you would be willing to tell me the secret of happiness, I would be most grateful. Prahlad said, nothing. But the Brahmin stayed around, and he served Prahlad constantly. He behaved toward him like a guru would toward his disciple. He kept asking, how is it, O king, that you came to be the ruler of the three universes? He got no response for a long, long time. But finally, one day when he asked that question, Prahlad was willing to respond. He said, I have gained this sovereignty through my behavior. I always follow the teachings of the Brahmins. They help me never to do anything that is unrighteous. I've conquered anger. I'm self-restrained. My senses are all under control. I am of righteous soul. And I live among my people like the moon among the stars. And he said, I'm very pleased with you, O Brahmin, for the service you have rendered to me, and I wish to grant you a boon. What boon will you have? Indra said, I ask that I be able to acquire your behavior. Prahlad shuddered with fear, for surely anyone who would request a boon, an extraordinary boon like that, would not have an ordinary motive behind his request. He wondered what would come next, but he had said he would grant the boon. So he had to go through with it. He said, so be it. I grant you the boon of my behavior. And the Brahmin was ecstatic and he immediately went away. While Prahlad sat down and began to mourn what had just happened. He was very anxious. He didn't know what to do. But then as he was brooding over the matter, a flame issued from his body. It took on a large, undulating form of great, great splendor. And Prahlad said, who are you? And the flame said, I am the embodiment of your behavior. You have given me to that Brahmin, so I shall now go to live with him. I bid you farewell, O king. And Prahlad's behavior departed. Soon another flame issued from the body of Prahlad, and it took on a similar form, just glowing with beautiful light. And Prahlad said, who are you? And the flame said, I am the embodiment of Dharma. I go where behavior goes. You have cast me off, so I shall go with your behavior. Farewell, O king. Prahlad sadly watched him go. And then another flame came out of Prahlad's body. Prahlad said, who are you? And the flame said, I am truth. I follow the way of Dharma. And truth departed. And then another flame came from Prahlad's body. And when he asked it who it was, it said, I am the embodiment of good deeds. Good deeds always follow truth. So I shall depart, O king. And good deeds went away. And then with a mighty roar, another flame emerged from Prahlad's body. Prahlad asked it, who are you? And the flame said, I am strength. I go where good deeds go. Farewell, O king. And strength went away. And then one more time, a flame issued from Prahlad's body. A beautiful goddess. And Prahlad asked, who are you? And the goddess said, I am the embodiment of prosperity. You have cast me off, O king, so I must follow the way of strength. Prahlad said, dear, you are the highest of all. You are the embodiment of truth itself. Tell me, who was that Brahmin? And she said, that Brahmin was Indra. Indra had seen that your behavior had given you prosperity, that you might be the ruler of the three worlds. So he arranged to be able to rob you of your behavior. Now I shall go away as well. And finished in this story, Dhritarashtra said to Duryodhana, so you see, my son, if you wish to have prosperity, it all depends on your behavior. You must never hurt anyone by thought, word, or deed. Never do anything but good things. Never do anything that does not benefit others or that does bring shame to you. Those of wicked behavior may gain prosperity, but they can never keep it for long, for soon they are exterminated, down to the root. If you wish to have a prosperity greater than Yudhisthira's, my son, practice virtuous behavior. But as we know, Dhritarashtra's son, Duryodhana, did not practiced virtuous behavior, and he was exterminated. His father, too, suffered greatly for having supported him in his ill behavior. But Yudhishthira always practiced virtuous behavior. And when it came time for him to leave the body, he received reward much greater than worldly wealth or worldly importance. Behavior. It's so ordinary. If we want to overcome our karma, it is a very, very good place to begin. So to come more to the present day, one paragon of virtuous behavior is the author of the letters in this book, God Alone, Sister Gyanamata. And I would like to read to you my favorite letter in this book because it is all about behavior. She's writing to someone who was part of a meditation group and had complained that they weren't feeling devotion. Here is her answer. Dear so-and-so, when devotion fails to support us, or when we think we have, or when like you, we think we have none, then duty must step into the breach. The more opportunity I have to study the lives of those who are practicing meditation, the more I am convinced that hand in hand with it should go the practice of the good old-fashioned virtues. I have been told that meditation itself is enough, but I have no evidence that this is so. And our Param Guru, Swami Sri Yukteswarji, did not so hold, for to his disciples, the group of boys whom he was training in the best methods of meditation, he said, learn to behave. What does good behavior consist of? In the careful, watchful regulation of our daily conduct to each other when we do not feel like it. For of course, if one feels like it, such right conduct becomes natural and automatic. Since we are human beings and not machines, it becomes necessary for us to be vigilant in the exercise of self-control. It can all be put into a few words. We must do what we know to be right, whether we feel like it or not. You have not been doing this. You have simply not been behaving, and I know why. You have been engaged day and night in the thought of yourself. Because of this, a great chance to serve Paramhansaji, a great chance to cement the bond between you and the rest of your group by unselfishly helping them at a time when they needed you, has passed you by. We have fought a good fight, brave Crillon, but you were not here, said a French king once to a subject who stayed away when he was needed. Let the little self whine, if it will. Turn your back on it. Concentrate on your behavior. You asked me what we could do if we had no devotion. I have told you. With love in God and Guruji, sister. Let's all go to the front of the train. We'll have a great party.
Countries and mixed with many men. I've shared the days of sunshine, gone with them in the rain. The fires at evening said we were brothers. The fires at evening said we were brothers. The soldier I saw weeping beside a dying friend. My officers had said I must hate him till the end. But seeing his grief I knew we were brothers. But seeing his grief I knew we were brothers. stranger he, but love made us brothers. A stranger he, but love made us brothers. One day I climbed a mountain with friends of other lands. The words we used were different, but joy one understands. Our gladness in God's world made us brothers. Our gladness in God's world made us brothers. Though words and customs vary like waves upon the sea, one life beneath the surface binds everyone to me. Who knows the truth knows all men as brothers. Who knows the truth knows all men as brothers. Then brothers, why endeavor to set ourselves apart? The fences we've been building squeeze tight upon our hearts. Come sing the truth that all men are brothers. Come sing the truth that all men are brothers. Whispering within your soul, hints of laughter, hints of joy, sweet songs of sadness, of quenchless yearning for the light, for my love, your true home. Long your heart has played the dancer, long you've toyed with nearest shadows of the treasures left behind you, deep in your soul. Long you've plumbed the dark for answers, long you've begged from beggars empty hands, gifts of life they too were seeking, gifts none could share. Friend, how long will you wander? Friend, as long as you seek your home in a land where all are strangers, love lost her door. Leave to the weakest grave and life to the coward, leave his dreaming. Oh, my saint, wake up, reclaim the light, seek the truth behind all seeming. Leave to the weakest grave and life to the coward, leave his dreaming. Oh, my saint, wake up, reclaim the light, seek the truth behind all seeming. Turn, turn, turn within, in silence of soul, in cave of love, find my abode. Listen, listen, whispering within your soul, hints of laughter, hints of joy, sweet songs of sadness, of quenchless yearning for